So hi everyone. So today I talk about why insurance won't fix the root causes of the problem it is trying to address. So first of all, what is insurance? That insurance is you pay some money periodically, and it gives you money if a particular event occurs. So for example, if it is a life insurance, you will have to pay monthly or like periodic premiums, and then if something happened to you, if you die, then your family will be getting a lump sum amount. So that is insurance. You are insuring against something. Yeah. So what I'm saying is, whatever you are insuring against, insurance is not going to, solve, fix those problems. Those problems are still going to be there, right? So there are different types of insurance: health insurance, home insurance, life insurance, car insurance, right? There are like so many types of insurance depending on what you are insuring against. So by definition, right? So by definition of insurance itself, you can understand that it does not help to prevent or reduce what you are insuring against, right? For example, again, like health insurance won't help you to prevent diabetes or any other health disorder. Life insurance won't reduce your chances of death, and house or flood insurance, it will not prevent floods, or it's not going to prevent your house from being damaged. So that is the main point, right? So let's say you go buy a life insurance, okay? So they will give your family some amount of money upon your death, right? Because they are dependent, because your family is financially dependent upon you, right? But it does not make them no longer dependent on you, right? Just buying an insurance does not make your family not dependent on you financially. So it's not actually fixing the core problem. It's just like patching the problem. It's just like you take a band-aid and you put on the problem. It's not curing, it's not fixing the underlying problem. Yes, it's like life insurance can give your family money, right? But it cannot give back you, right? It cannot give back you as a physical person. It cannot give back the person to the family. It can only give money. It's same with like other types of insurance. It can give money, but it cannot give back your health. It can give you money, but it cannot give back your home, which let's assume it gets destroyed by some flood or something. So you might say it is risk management, right? You might say it is managing the risk of being the risk of being dead while your family is financially dependent upon you, or the risk of getting hit by a flood. So what I'm saying is, it's actually not risk management. It's just you taking on some different kind of risk to get rid of some one kind of risk. Okay, it's just like swapping the risks. That's it. You are not eliminating any of the risks. So let me explain. So there are even risks associated with the insurance also. And the first risk is you will have to pay money. You will have to pay periodic premiums, most likely monthly premiums. So if you will have to pay money, you will have to go and earn that money, right? You cannot print the money from thin air and give to and you cannot pay the premium, right? So you will have to earn money, which means you will have to go to the job, right? So that is going to cause some stress. It's not some stress, like work, stress from the work is like enormous, right? So, and similarly, there are monetary risks attached to the insurance. So, and the second risk is they can deny your claim, right? You might have seen the fine print, right? It runs into pages, and then they can deny your claim for any reason in the fine print, and even in the fine print it would like be written something like the claim is under the complete discretion of the company or something like that. I'm not sure about it, but yeah, so that is another risk. So they can deny your claim for any reason. Yeah. And the third risk is they are making profit. Right? The insurance company does not sell you insurance if it is not making profit. So if it is making profit, its profit has to come from someone else. It has to come at the expense of someone else. Right? So because there is no free lunch. Right? You cannot print money. There is no free lunch. There is no free lunch even if you have lunch insurance. Right? You will have to pay the premium. Yeah. So I was looking into how these insurance companies, I mean the business model of the insurance companies. So that's where I come across the fourth risk related to the insurance. So what the insurance companies do is just like they get you and other people to buy insurance. Those insurance companies themselves will go to some other bigger companies and they will buy insurance for all of their claims. So it is called as reinsurance. So if something happens and insurance company is not able to pay back, then it has to. Then the company has its own insurance that which it has bought from some other company. So you will have to depend on that. So it's like it goes on like so complex finance that it really messes my mind. So that is one of the risk. It just increases the risk, right? Yeah, because now you are not only dependent on one company, you are dependent on more than one company. So, and as I told, the insurance company itself becoming bankrupt, that is one of the risks. Even though there are many mechanisms in place, but nothing is fail-proof, right? After a limit, everything starts breaking down, which we have actually also seen in the past. Right, during the 2008 crisis, a big insurance company in the US it went bankrupt and government had to bail it out. So who is getting losses while the government goes out and bails the company? It's of course the citizens, right? Because government just prints money and gives to that insurance company. So it of course causes inflation and everyone's savings are now worth less. So and another risk is market risk. So yeah, so what does the insurance company do with all the money it gets from the premium? It takes all the money and goes it and puts into the stock market or some bond market, you can say. So there are market risks associated with all those investments, right? So whenever the market is like crazy down, it can hamper the your insurance company's ability to pay claims. So and another risk is inflation risk, right? So because you are measuring in terms of money, right? In terms of currency, what the insurance company will provide you a claim. It gives back the money, right? It's not like as I said, it's not giving back what you actually lost. It just gives you money to compensate for it. So the currency has inflation risk. So let's say you have bought insurance for 1 crore rupee. So after let's say 25 years, something happens and now the company will have to pay you 1 crore rupees. So after 25 years, what is the actual value of the 1 crore rupees? It could actually be worthless or like worth very less compared to the compared to today. So that is the inflation risk. And like there are many host of other all of these risks associated with insurance. So as I said, while buying insurance, you are not eliminating the risk, you are just swapping one risk with the other. So first let us understand what is meant by financial engineering. So it means like formulating a complex financial product that like common people like you and me cannot fully understand. You cannot fully comprehend how the product works. Right, it's not like some mechanical device where you can open the screws and look at the mechanism how it works. Right, financial products you can't do that. You cannot understand how those things work. We can only guess or we can only believe what the company says, but you cannot actually see how they are going to play out in the future. So some examples for the complex financial products are insurance, as I said, and derivatives like stock market derivatives and or currency derivatives or in like any other derivatives. All those things are very complex financial products. Yeah, so like clever financial engineering, like it can only hide the core issues. It can just hide the core issues away from your sight, right? But it doesn't mean they are fixed, right? Just because you can't see something, it doesn't mean those things doesn't exist, right? Like if you cannot see, we cannot see the air, but we can't say air doesn't exist, right? Or you cannot see Statue of Liberty from where you are sitting. You cannot say Statue of Liberty doesn't exist. So yeah, so just because something is out of your sight doesn't mean it has been completely solved or completely fixed. So now that a problem has gone out of your sight, but you will have to deal with those problems later, like when they grow big and come back to haunt you directly or indirectly. You will have to deal with them directly or indirectly. Remember, as I said, there is no free lunch. So dealing with them now, right now, dealing with them now and directly is better than like sweeping them under a carpet and thinking they are fixed. So to give you an analogy of how I think it works, right? It is like paying a company to get rid of your garbage, right? In these days, all of the people generate a big pile of garbage, right? Every day. So it's like you pay a garbage company to come and take the garbage out of your sight, right? Out of your sight and out of your mind. But it doesn't mean your garbage it just didn't vanish, right? It just didn't get lost, right? Just because it just went out of your sight, it's still polluting somewhere else, right? It is polluting the land, it's polluting the groundwater, rivers and oceans, right? And if the garbage is burnt, if it is incarcerated, it is also polluting the air. So ultimately what happens is this problem of pollution, your garbage, it grows into a giant monster and it comes back to haunt you. How? Of course it's gonna come back indirectly, it doesn't come back like a literal monster, right? So how does it come back? Like for example, DDT in mother's milk, microplastics in our food, in our body and in our blood. Almost it is confirmed by the research, right? We have microplastics in all of our body, in our blood especially. It's flowing with the blood, and toxins in the air we breathe, right? Because the garbage gets incarcerated somewhere. Even if you did not burn it, someone is going to, and you will not be seeing them burning it. Yeah, toxins. So indirectly you are going to get all those toxins in the air we breathe, in the water we drink, and in the food we eat, right? That's how they come back to haunt you. That's how they grow big and come back to haunt you. And ultimately it is us who will suffer later, right? Now you can just sweep things under the rug and forget about them, but they will always come back and we will be suffering later. So instead of doing this, preventing the garbage was the best way to deal with it at the first place, right? So not creating so much garbage and reducing it was the best thing in the first place. So those people, right, the people in the companies, people who own the companies which manufacture the garbage, which manufacture the plastic, right, and which put the plastic into your daily use in the first place, right? Those companies and those companies which helped you dump the garbage companies and the people who own them, all those people, right? Now they have made all the money. They have made tons of money, and but we are the ones who are going to deal with the pollution. They are not going to deal with the pollution because they have money, because they have made money, right? And now they can afford those air purifiers, water purifiers, and food purifiers. I mean, organic food and all those things, right? Now they can afford that, but we can't afford that. You can't afford that. You can't afford, or we can't afford all those things, but we will have to suffer. So we will have to suffer from the consequences, right? They can buy their way out of pollution, but now you are left holding the bag, right? Even we can't even, like, we are not even we are unable to even afford the healthcare costs, right? For the disorders caused by the pollution. So this is exactly what happens even with the financial engineering and financial products. You might not know what you will have to face in the future, but then, as I told, there is no free lunch. You will have to deal with it. Okay. Now or later, directly or indirectly. So just to give an example of how financial engineering was destroyed many lives and made people suffer, right? So during the housing crisis in 2008 in USA, right? So what happened is people just kept on taking mortgage, they kept on taking home loans, and they and the house prices had soared like anything. So clearly accepting that you can't afford a home and renting it or living in a tent, right? Like living in a basic tent, that would have been much better. That would have been much better than taking a house loan, paying all the money you had for the down payment of the loan, and then again ending up on street like homeless anyways, because you were not able to make the mortgage payment and your house was seized by the bank because you did not make the payment. So that was devastating for so many people. Like you can go and look it up in internet. Like literally, there are so many people homeless. They're just right outside their homes, their own homes, which they have paid so much money to buy, but now they don't own them. So they have to sleep in the streets. So that is how financial engineering, can harm the people, because they did not completely understand how the things work, right? Because they are common people and they are not like financial, uh, what to say, masters or something like that. Yeah. So financial engineering was great for those who made it, for those who devised it. Firms made millions in profit. When they failed, government bailed them out. Right. Those who suffered at the end were normal people like you and me, ordinary people. Because government will not come and help. It will not come and bail out ordinary people when they are homeless, when they are on streets. Right. Government will only make us suffer, directly or indirectly. It is going to make us suffer. So insurance won't fix root problems. It's just a band-aid or a patch to put upon the problem and think the underlying problem does not exist anymore. Right. So it is just a feel-good sort of thing. It is not a cure. It is not a prevention. So it is like more dangerous, right? Like if you assume that you have a wound and you put on a band-aid and you think your wound doesn't exist anymore, so that is going to be dangerous, right? If you are, what you will have to do is to make sure you get your wound cured, or you will have to prevent getting wounded in the first place. Instead of doing that, just thinking your wound doesn't exist now because you have bought insurance, right? That is going to be dangerous in the future. So now I'll like come back and talk about reality. Buying insurance, actually what it makes you is, it makes you ignorant about the root causes of the problem. So hence it is more likely that you will fall into those problems. Like you will overwork, you will take more risk, you will drive recklessly, just because you think you have insurance. You have health insurance, so it will take care of it. You have car insurance and it will take care of it, right? And you will buy a house in flood prone area because you think, I have insurance, I have flood insurance. And your spouse wishes you dead for your life insurance money. I mean, like, that is what happens like many times. You can go and look into the news, old news. Yeah. You will drive like a idiot because you have car insurance. And you do not have time to think about all these things or to focus on fixing those root causes of the problems, because you will have to work overtime to afford to pay the monthly premiums, right? Because you will have to pay these premiums, you will have to earn money, you will have to work more now. So because the premiums are due by the let's say this month's end, and the insurance is going to get lapsed if you do not pay the premium on time. So you cannot afford to get your insurance lapsed, right? You are already so reckless that you really badly need insurance. But you badly need insurance. You are so reckless because you will have to pay money for insurance. Right? So it is like a downward spiral, a downward feedback loop. So now I'll talk about solution. What you can actually do instead of just going and buying insurance. Right? Buying insurance is easy. Right? You take this money, you put it there, put it on the table in the insurance company, and then you get a insurance bond, right? Or a promise from the insurance company. That's so easy, right? Actually going and fixing the root causes of the problems and fixing the problems by yourself, that is hard, and you will have to do hard things because there is no free lunch. So Yeah, the solution is you better to deal with the problems directly, right, than patching them indirectly, right. If your family is dependent on you, if your family is financially dependent on you, make them independent. Make them independent of you, right, and take care of your health. Don't eat junk food. If you are scared of healthcare costs, pool funds. Okay, you are pool funds from your friends, family, or community, and then start building a community hospital, right, with vertically integrated supply chain. Right, even if you have hospital, if the cost of different inputs are very high, it again like comes back to haunt you, right? So build it with vertically integrated supply chains where you control the price. And do not build your house in flood prone area. Drive carefully. Don't overwork, right? Don't overwork and get your health damaged. So finally, do not pay for like profiting to some company which promises some money in the future, and take control into your own hands and take action by yourself. So this was the solution, which I think is much more rational than just going out and buying insurance. Otherwise like just be okay to suffer directly from the problem, right? When the times call for it, right? When your family is dependent on you and you die, you'll have to let your family suffer, right? And you'll have to deal with the consequences by yourself. And if you don't want to deal with it, then I have told you the solution, right? If you don't want to implement the solution, then just be ready to deal with it. Just be okay to deal with it. Just be okay to suffer directly. Isn't direct suffering better than indirect suffering, right? Just that you will have to pay, like you will have to pay for the profits of the insurer if you choose the indirect suffering route. So, direct action, community ownership, self-control and prevention of the root causes of the problems, right? All these things are always better than buying a future promise from someone who is like greedy for profit. You decide what's better for you. So why are not like more people are not talking about this? More people are not like talking like this, right? Because insurance companies, right, they have like huge marketing budgets, and they sponsor most of the content you consume, right? If you go on to watch a web series, insurance company would have sponsored them. If you go on to watch a TV show, insurance company would have sponsored them. So you do not get to listen these kind of conversation. So their ads brainwash you, right, and they earn a good reputation in your mind. And I am not sponsored by any insurance company, so I can speak without any bias. So let's move towards the conclusion. So everything I told in this video is my own personal opinion. You might have a different opinion, and that's fine. I respect your opinion. I'm not saying like you should never buy insurance. I'm just saying that it is of not much use, and it can also cause harm to you indirectly, right? And if you really want to buy, then do buy it. But just remember all those things I told you in the video. And if you have any pro insurance arguments, or if you have any doubts, do comment below. I will try to reply. Okay. So yeah. So what is the takeaway from the video, right? So the first thing is, remember, buying insurance does not fix the root causes of the problem. Okay, And the second thing is, there is no free lunch. You will have to deal with it either now or later, directly or indirectly. Okay, that's it for the video. Thanks for watching and bye.